Hey guys, it's Mike from JH Fit Weightlifting as well as barbell.com. So today we're going to show you how to do the single leg RDL Roman deadlift. So real quick, why someone would do this, regardless of your sport, whether you're a weightlifter, powerlifter, functional fitness, or just a sport athlete like a runner, any formal sport, athletics, you want to start building unilateral strength, specifically in the hamstring, glutes, as well as developing better hip to spine coordination in the hinge, whether that's squatting, pulling. So we're going to show you a couple different variations, one with the barbell, body weight, and then with the dumbbell, but you can use kettlebells as well. Really any external load or apparatus will do fine here. Some quick notes about loading. Want to keep this weight relatively light to moderate. It should not be something that you're doing with maximal strength lifts because it is unilateral. You don't really want to challenge that hamstring too much with high loading. You can increase the volume with that, meaning a little more rep-based work, just to restore some blood flow, get some active flexibility, and then also target the muscle to stimulate new muscle fibers as well as the patterning. So when to do this? Sometimes we'll do it as a preparatory movement or a corrective movement before squat sessions, pulling sessions, or general fitness sessions, as well as sometimes we'll do it at the end of the workout after our main power and strength lifts to really hit that muscle hypertrophy and just to have a greater training volume stimulus at the end with our assistance lifts. All right, so we are now going to show you 3 different movements, all the same single leg RDL, Romanian deadlift. We're going to start with the body weight. That's the most regress version. What I like to do with a lot of people starting out is we have them just start on their one foot. We're going to take a slight bend in that knee, and then I'm actually going to have them put their other toe down. What that's going to do is add some stability. A lot of people have some hip swaying and they're not used to being on that one foot. So what we do is we have them just get here. We're going to stack the abs and brace just like we would any heavy squat, deadlift, any big movement. All we're going to do is hinge directly at the hips, keeping our back flat and neutral. Right? You can use this foot here for some balance, and as they progress, we would then have them take that foot off the ground. Now some things to think about when we're doing this, making sure this knee is not diving inwards. We're not falling forward, we're staying back into that hip. When it's time to come up, you want to be using that hamstring and glute, flat back, hamstring, glute, squeezing up. You can have a slight bend in the knee once again. Obviously, the straighter your knee is, the more hamstring loading you're going to get. However, you don't necessarily have to have it locked out. Very few times in sport do we actually have a locked out knee. So really you can play with that. However, there should be only a slight knee bend. So now we're going to show you the deadlift variations that you can do with this as well as the barbell. All right, so now we're going to work with 2 dumbbells. However, you can use it with 1. Just a quick note that if you are going to use 1 dumbbell, depending on the side you're going to use it, so if we're going to go right leg down, left leg, contralateral loading, so it's going to affect a little bit more of that balance and stability than if you did your other side. But once again, we're going to use 2 for this demonstration. So I like to always start with having that foot on point, slight bend, kind of get that hip really going, casting that hip back behind me. When I'm ready to go, I'll take it flat back, stretch that hamstring out, loading, and I'm coming through, feeling in my hamstring and glute, making sure this knee is not diving in, so I'm not having that. Under control loading, using my glute and hamstring to come up, not my lower back. Flat back, not slouching my shoulders, not pulling up. So now we're going to go right into what you can do with your barbell. So what I like to do here is you can play with your grips. A lot of weightlifters, if you need to work on that snatch grip to help with that lat packing, you can have your wider grip, or you can also take your overhand grips. I usually go kind of somewhere in between. So with this, if I'm really going to load up the weight, I often will keep this foot down. Just takes the balance a little less out of it. Just driving that hip back, squeezing that glute. If you wanted to get a little more advanced with it, you pick that foot up. And realistically, the only difference of picking that foot up is just to change that balance. However, I do still feel unilaterally in that right hamstring that I'm loading. So be here, you be coming down, driving up top. It does not take a lot of weight. get this done because you'll be focusing on the movement patterning, tracking that hamstring, and getting good movement prep. So once again, make sure you check out a couple more of our videos here on unilateral training as well as weightlifting on J2Fit YouTube. Thanks.